The Washington Nationals have not had a good afternoon dealing with baseball's appeal rules. We got many questions on this, so let's talk about it.
And a ball drilled to left center. Victor Robles tracking it, but it bounces over. And Ehire Adrianza is appealing something to the umpires here.
Jack Suwinski, he rounded second base and kind of straddled it, and then he was he just loses it. He has no idea. And then he goes back, and then he misses second base right there.
We've talked about last time by rules before. Again, to recap, it means whatever you do on your last time by the base, that's what counts for the record books for the appeals for anything else.
Davies now coming up to the top step.
Step off.
So initially when I saw the question was about appeals and I saw this whole thing, I thought, oh, okay, it's a simple case of making a pitching change and then doing the appeal after the pitching change, which is a legal thing to do. You're allowed to do that because a new play has not happened.
Coming out not to talk to the umpires, but to get the ball from Paolo Espino.
Pitcher leaves, the new pitcher comes into the game, and surprisingly to me, maybe not to you, the Nats never actually did appeal.
Runners in scoring position, and Davey going to his bullpen.
Slider sinkers.
As soon as that pitch is thrown, the opportunity for appeal is closed. Hey broadcasters, tell us why the Nats didn't appeal?
Doesn't matter once it goes out of play on this. But let's say that ball stayed in and then he continued on. Guess what? They'd appeal and they'd get the out there, but because it goes out of play, doesn't matter.
Yeah, we can see that.
No. An omen of what's to come, that is 100% false and completely not the rule. Even if the ball does go out of play, the runner still has to touch any base that they might be entitled to or awarded, even if the ball is dead. Remember the batter who hit a home run and was called out on appeal for missing first base? Yeah, it's because you have to touch the bases as you run them, even if it's a dead ball base award. That batter was Ke'Bryan Hayes, speaking of which.
Did miss first.
Infield halfway. Josh Bell comes to get this one. Now he's going to throw to third. They're calling him out on the line drive. So now you touch third base, you touch the base runner, and that should be a double play. Nobody's going anywhere.
Right.
And here comes Derek Shelton to argue with first base umpire Mark Wegner. It sure appeared to me that Mark Wegner put his hands up in the air to indicate the ball was caught. And now the Nats are running off the field. They're going to bring all four umpires together to confer to see if the ball was indeed caught on the fly.
No, he caught it. That's a catch.
That's a catch.
We got ourselves 2 feet in.
Josh Bell comes to get it, and then Suwinski didn't even hesitate. He booked it for home, and Adrianza touching the bag and the base runner. Either of those should work.
True, but also famous last words for a run scoring issue.
That is my understanding.
That's fair or foul.
That is
this
fair.
Is a catch. They could review the catch.
Nope, infield catches are not reviewable.
So Novice, Wegner, Porter, and Rehak having a long conversation now on the infield. And they're going to go over and talk to Derek Shelton, which I would imagine bodes well for the Nationals.
This is a complex play because there are a handful of moving parts. First is the catch, no catch issue. Pirates won a trap, umpires called a catch. Replays show it was a catch, so umpires confer, stick with the call. Wow, part one is done. Let's see how many other moving parts there were.
So a quick conversation with Derek Shelton, and now they're saying the run scored?
No, because here's the
The Nationals are livid.
Wait, it's a catch. Here's the only thing. Park was on third, so the tag would not apply. They did touch third.
Stick a pin in that too, because just touching a base isn't enough for an appeal. More on that later.
The double up shouldn't have happened. They touched the guy. He was already safe at third base, let's just say.
What? Both runners left early. The second part of the equation is the appeal play on the runner that started on second base.
Yeah, no, this is this could be a challenge right here for one of these managers to stay in the game. I'm gonna be honest with you, because this is not right. So many times that you get into it, if you tag the runner and then the base, you know, and then they tag the, like he did.
It looked to me like he tagged the runner standing on third base
and
before he touched the base.
When he does that, runner scores. If he touches the base, because that would be the double up first.
Okay, on the replay, watch the umpire who points to the runner R2 before signaling the out. That means that the umpire is calling that specific runner out. That's correct because R2 never tagged up. Part 2's done. What's part 3?
If Park doesn't tag up, which he doesn't,
right?
He does not go back to second base. He doesn't tag up. How does he get to advance to third?
Because he's a live runner on this one.
It's so cute listening to broadcasters who have no idea what the rules are trying to come up with stuff. Okay, that replay angle is super key to the third part of the play, which is a time play.
He does not go back to second base. He doesn't.
I paused here to show that R3, the leading runner, touched home plate prior to the defense appealing on R2, the trailing runner, at third base. The thing about time plays is they're not force outs, which means that the rule about a run being unable to score due to a force out situation is not applicable. This is an appeal play on a runner who left too early, but was at no time forced to advance because two things: first base was unoccupied, but also because the ball was caught on the fly, so no one's forced to advance, even if it was, for instance, a bases loaded situation.
So the umpires talked to Davey Martinez. Now Steve Cishek is coming onto the field. Now they're talking to Derek Shelton.
Wait. What is going on here?
This is chaos. And the umpiring crew, I understand there's a lot of moving parts here.
Guys, we could have settled this early. Let's go to a replay. Hey, New York, what do we have here? Can you guys help us?
Hey, everyone watching in the stands and at home, here's what we're discussing.
So Washington comes back on the field because now they know what's going on, that they have to appeal on the other runner who scored to get that run taken off the board. So they're trying to come back onto the field of play after they already left the field of play, which is illegal because you can't do an appeal play after you leave the field. We'll talk about the fourth out rule that enables them to do that appeal if they had done it while they were still on the field in real time.
So this is what's going to end up happening. They're going to end up putting the runner at first because no one ever touched first, right? And the reason they can't call it out, because if it's an out, no matter what, they doubled it up.
I don't blame the broadcasters here per se, because off camera the Nationals defense has taken the field in an attempt to appeal on leading runner R3 so they can get a fourth out, claiming that R3 failed to tag up, which he failed to do. The fourth out rule says that umpires can recognize an apparent fourth out in order to appeal on a runner who scored, who missed a base or left early during the play that ended the inning. In that case, the fourth out supersedes and becomes the third out for scoring purposes, and that runner's run will be nullified.
Alert everyone as to what's going on? Or no?
Yeah, I mean, you should.
This is a rules check that the team cannot appeal after leaving the field.
Wait, what?
Wait a second. So they're saying that because
you sent them off the field,
because the Nationals left the field of play,
put it in protest,
they're unable to check the rule as it's being enforced?
Yeah, that's kind of what Rule 509C comment is. You can't appeal after leaving the field. We said that already. And furthermore, no, umpires are not going to tell a team to leave the field. They do that on their own, and the replays clearly show that the team left before the umpires even said anything, which they never did, because umpires rarely address entire teams.
The umpiring crew sent the team off. They decided what was going to happen.
That is the correct ruling. The team may not appeal after the fielders leave the field.
This is brutal. I'm sorry. This is absolutely brutal. They didn't. Did they make a ruling?
Yeah, Mark Wegner.
He pointed
at home like, "Hey, this run scores," and then therefore everybody else sends off. If they could have held the team there, this is a bad job by the umpiring crew of holding court, making sure that they are the ones in control. They're not. They have made this what it is.
First of all, it's not the umpire's responsibility to, quote, hold the team there or tell them to appeal. In fact, the rules say you can't tell them to appeal a play. That should be the defense that does it on their own. An umpire can't tip anyone off. That's illegal. The final point for element 4 is what constitutes a valid appeal. The rule says, quote, an appeal should be clearly intended as an appeal, either by a verbal request by the player or an act that unmistakably indicates an appeal to the umpire. A player inadvertently stepping on the base with the ball in their hand would not constitute an appeal. That's why the appeal on R2 is valid, because tagging the runner with the glove is obviously and unmistakably an appeal, but simply stepping on a base is not, quote, clearly intended or, quote, unmistakable. If there's any doubt, and there's quite a bit of what the fielder actually meant to do, it's not a valid appeal. Per the rule, it needs to be unmistakable. So by making a mistake of the intentions, by definition, it can't be unmistakable. Think about it this way. You're appealing a rules infraction by the opposition, so you need to do it in the proper formal way in order for it to be valid. This play is officiated correctly, but it took a heck of a long time and a lot of confusion to get there.
This is not how you handle a situation on the field. This is not how you convey what's happening to a fan base, to people watching in the stadium and at home. And now the Nationals are leaving the field to play yet again. And Mitch Keller is running back onto the mound, so the inning is apparently over. They're counting the run, maybe, but saying the inning is over? They're saying the run scores. Yet again, a point to home plate.
No idea what's going on.
That sure is an understatement, but don't worry, I'm sure the other team's broadcast can get at least a teensy bit closer to what actually happened on the field.
When your foot's on the bag, you're safe, right? But not in this instance. You're not safe.
He's out.
So he's out.
Of course, yeah. I mean, it's a double play.
Right.
I don't know what they're talking about. We understand that the public address announcement here said the run scores since the Nats did not appeal because Suwinski did not tag.
Right away, they cite the public address saying the run scores because the Nats didn't appeal on R3. I wonder if they're going to talk about a fourth out.
Suwinski, obviously Suwinski did not tag, but they didn't appeal that.
No, no. It had no. That's wrong. It does not matter. They don't have to appeal that. The play is going on.
Oh no, you were so close.
No, I understand.
So there's no appeal to be called.
I'm just saying what the PA announcement just.
Well, they can say whatever he wants.
Now I think
there was never any timeout.
Now I think they're going to go back.
Oh, no. Just to clarify, appeals occur in a live ball situation. You cannot appeal in pro ball when the ball is dead. That's a high school thing. The ball has to be live. You can do it when it happens during the play itself, like in continuous action like we saw here, or you can give the ball back to the pitcher, have them step off when the ball becomes live again, and then do it then. It has to be a live ball.
The hang-up has to be that he didn't touch the base.
But he did. He stepped on the base.
After he tagged the runner out.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
If he touches the base and then tags the runner,
yeah.
That's a whole different thing than tagging the runner and then the base.
Yeah.
So I guess the final piece to the puzzle, assuming of course the Nats had filed a valid appeal on score in R3, so it's a hypothetical situation, the rule states that if more than one appeal exists in a fourth out situation, the defense will get to choose which appeal they'd like to keep. So naturally they choose the one that takes the run off the board. Why not? To reiterate, it does not matter which appeal comes first, whether they tag the runner or the base first, as long as both appeals are valid and unmistakable appeals as stated earlier, because under the fourth out rule, both appeals are eligible for selection by the defensive team. Okay, I think we're finally done.
So rule 50,
there's a problem here.
Again, we're getting this information. Rule 509C4, the rule that says the defensive team has to make a defensive appeal to third base to negate the run. They're invoking the fourth out appeal rule.
That is the correct ruling. The team may not appeal after the fielders leave the field.
You know, the broadcast said, quote, fourth out, so I'm happy.
What are they appealing? Why isn't the inning over?
I don't know.
Or maybe not.
Right here, boom, he's out.
Right, yeah, that's it. You're right. 2-2. Got him! Praise the Jolly Roger and give that save to the rookie.
Oh gosh, cherry on top, it was a one-run game.
Today, a pitcher retires the Nats in order.